it mitigates the risk. So you diversify revenue so that you don't have over-reliance on just one stream of income. That's a significant part of it. And it has been growing significantly, like almost balanced 50-50 with the aviation revenue in the past few years.
Airports Company South Africa is proud to be sustaining the pulse of SA's economy and global connectivity. Visit airports.co.za for more info. 702. Let's walk the talk.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. A meeting is underway between Gauteng Transport MEC Gidiboni Diale-Tlhabela and frustrated taxi officials in Ekurhuleni. This after the South African National Taxi Council halted its operations in the area. The drivers stopped operating after law enforcement impounded some of their vehicles for operating without proper licensing. The affected areas are primarily in Ekurhuleni, where commuters have been left stranded today. Santaco Regional Secretary Zweli Mnisi says they are struggling to pay the 5,000 Rand fee to have their vehicles released.
We are going to a meeting now to meet the MEC and try to resolve some of these issues. We hope that we will come out with a solution at the end of the day, because we feel very bad to leave our passengers stranded as we did. But as I said, we had no option but to embark on this shutdown because of the harassment of the law enforcement.
Let's stay with taxi-related matters. Authorities in KwaZulu-Natal are also clamping down on illegal activity in Durban. This morning, the city's Metro Police impounded 25 taxis for operating without proper permits. It comes just 2 days after 2 e-hailing drivers were assaulted and shot at allegedly by taxi operators in Claremont. Durban Metro Police spokesperson Boise Zungu says this is an ongoing operation.
Yes, we can confirm that there is a route permit enforcement taking place in Claremont and surrounding. About 25 taxis impounded for route permit.
We shift our focus to this now. An energy expert has slammed NERSA for miscalculating an Eskom revenue shortfall, which could see consumers paying even more for electricity. This week, NERSA conceded to an out-of-court settlement of 54 billion Rand with Eskom. This after the power utility launched a judicial review challenging the energy regulator's original revenue decision. Earlier this year, NERSA approved Eskom's tariff increases over the next 3 financial years. Energy expert Chris Yellen says NERSA's mistake is absolutely astounding.
It speaks to a lack of professionalism and lack of competence, I believe, within NERSA, because the methodology is well known to NERSA.
Yellen says the problem is not with NERSA's methodology, but with Eskom's inefficiency.
So the point is, Eskom has to balance its book, and if it doesn't get the money from the tariff, it gets it from government via us, via our taxes.
To this now, the siblings of late EWN Associate Politics Editor Cidi Madia say she treated their children like her own. Family, friends and colleagues shared memories of her yesterday at their home on the East Rand. Madia's passing has sent shockwaves across the country as many mourners pay their condolences to her family. Her sister Relebogile Mabotja says Madia often spoiled her kids with treats and picnics and imparted her wisdom with them.
And Cidi has always said that she doesn't want kids. She doesn't want her own kids because our kids are her kids. And when we brought our last daughter into the family, Momo, and she met Momo, she just gravitated towards her to a point where they have such a strong relationship that she even ended up saying to us that, maybe this route of adoption may be something that I want to do, because look at how much light this child brings into the family. And yeah.
And in the UK, Jessie J has cancelled her upcoming tour dates, revealing she will be undergoing a second operation as part of her treatment for breast cancer. The singer announced in early June that she had been diagnosed with early breast cancer and that she was undergoing treatment. The 37-year-old was due to tour the UK and Europe in October before gigs in the United States in November. The UK and Europe dates have been postponed until April next year, while the US tour has been cancelled. Gold is trading at $3,409.67 an ounce. The rand is at 17.73 to the dollar, 23.94 to the pound, 20.75 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $68.62 a barrel.
Well, if you're heading towards the Bedford View area, that's leaving Alex. There's about a 30-minute delay on the N3 southbound between London Road and the Gululi's interchange. This is all due to an earlier accident. Also, accident scene if you are coming through the Edenville area heading towards Bedford View. Slow-moving traffic on the R24 westbound between Edenville Road and the Gululi's interchange. And also look out for those roadworks in the Devland area. Slowing down traffic on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union.
It's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 27 and 29 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, a meeting is underway between Gauteng Transport MEC Gidiboni Diale-Tlhabela and frustrated taxi officials in Ekurhuleni.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7.
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Very good afternoon to you. I'm Jane Dutton. I'm in for Relebogile. It's very good to have you with us. In the last hour, we ate a ridiculous amount of food, and one of my drinks, I think, was even laced with tequila. But so far, I've been holding it together. There were 2 food establishments under one brand. We started with Lumo and the Bottomless Cafe, and then we listened to Stephen Lee Lewis, multi-talented musician who was singing to us live here in the studios for the first time. And now we're going to the upside of failure with Louise Carver, 2-time board #1 artist, is one of South Africa's most beloved singer-songwriters, known for her emotive lyrics, powerful vocals, and dynamic live performances. Signed at just 15, she released her debut single, It Don't Matter, which quickly became a radio hit, followed by her acclaimed debut album, Mirrors and Windows. And you know the deal. Get in touch with us, share your stories, ask her questions. You can phone us, you can WhatsApp us, and we will play out your messages.
702.
The upside of failure.
Proof that a setback can lead to a step forward.
A very good afternoon to you.
Thank you for having me.
I believe you had a very late night last night.
Yes, we had a big corporate. I was performing with Ross Learmonth from Prime Circle, and a lot of fun actually at Monte Casino. But my bedtime is usually, I try and make it to 10, but I got back at about 1 this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But your day sounds much more fun than mine. Your tequila shots.
Spiked drinks.
Yeah.
Not the way we should start, but I must say it's working rather well.
Yay! Well, it's Friday, so there's that. Sorry.
Well, I was saying you looking. I was thinking how good you're looking on a late evening. In fact, the makeup artist put makeup on my face a little bit earlier because we filmed something later this afternoon. Has done your makeup years ago, Lynn, and she was just saying what a sparkly person, and that you've been in this industry for quite a long time.
Yes, well, when you start young, and it's important to start young, I think, because your learning curve is long.
Yes. I mean, you started at 15.
I did.
Brutally young in this industry, right?
Yes, I had a lioness of a mother. I have a lioness of a mother.
Yes.
And she just sat there with her book when I was with a lot of older men making music. And although she didn't need to, they were lovely men.
Yes.
But I love that she was there. She just, in the background, she was writing letters or reading her book. She just never left my side until I turned 18.
Yes.
So I was very protected.
I think in this industry, you probably have to do that.
Yeah, she needed to make sure that nothing untoward happened.
And they would know that the lioness would get them.
Oh, you don't want to cross my mother. No. She is
You've even got lioness
tough
hair. You've got like,
yeah.
Oh, look.
Well, me?
Yes.
I said it was late night. I don't even bother to brush it anymore.
Thank you. So what are you up to at the moment?
Oh my gosh, a lot. We released Crush on You, which is my latest single, and you just never know when you release something how it's going to be perceived. And I always have optimism that it's going to go well, and it has. So, and I think it's because it's a joyous message of that funny little emotion we sometimes have, which is to have a crush on someone.
Yes.
And it bubbled up because I did have a crush on someone, and I was quite surprised at this time in my life. You kind of think, oh, really? How
Really?
weird. I thought
How
that's
exciting.
how exciting. I mean, and it's also not to be acted on. It's just a little
Yes.
heart palpitation, a little sweaty palm moment. And it doesn't mean you're going to, anything's going to, in fact, it shouldn't, because you've already elevated them to,
Yes.
more than they should be elevated.
But some things like that are so important. I mean, it makes you feel alive, isn't it? And you think,
Yeah.
oh, wow, everything still works.
Also a bit stupid, though, because you just can't form sentences around that person. But anyway, so I wrote that song. And then it did really well. And I said to my record label, I think I need to go on tour.
Yes.
So I wanted to do a spring tour
Okay.
because I don't like to go out in winter. It's hard to pull yourself off the couch. So,
Sure.
I'm going 5 provinces and 9 shows.
Goodness me.
Sponsored by Jeep, so I get a nice Jeep Wrangler, which is very sexy.
Alright.
Sims Cooler from the band The Muffins is my producer and my guitarist and backing vocalist and dear friend. We are going around the country, and we're starting the tour in Mildersdrift at the beautiful Cradle Moon
Lovely.
with a boat trip. They've actually got hippos. So you get a little bit of 25 minutes from 25 minutes from Sandton, and you're in the bush.
Incredible.
So that's the 6th of September, and then you can follow the rest of the tour on louisecarver.com.
Stunning. And we'll get those contact details a little bit later
Thanks.
on towards the end. When it comes to failure, and I know, your business is a raw business, what does it conjure up in your head when you think of a failure? What does
Well,
it
it's a
mean to
tricky
you?
one. It has because I am an eternal optimist. I get it from my mother. Failure is very painful, especially as an artist, because you're often working 2-3 years on a project. You're putting your own money, your own investment into it. No one's paying you, and then if it doesn't work, it hurts deeply. And somehow, some people can't recover from that, and that's okay. It's not for everyone. So what comes to mind is it's a very painful thing, and you have to then decide if you want to continue in whatever you failed in, or if you want to. And there's no shame in that either. If it's just too much for you, then you're meant to do something else, and you move on.
If you joined us, I'm speaking to Louise Carver, singer, Billboard #1 artist, I'm sure known to most of you. And we're talking about the upside of failure. And it's such an important hour. I love this hour because often if you're in the limelight, people just assume that life is fancy, everything's hunky-dory.
Everything you touch turns to gold.
Yeah, but you are like all of us. We all go through the same things, and no life is complete without failures.
Yes, and you are meant to learn from them. And sometimes as I said in the beginning of the interview, in music, it's a very long learning curve. I mean, I didn't make any money for the first 10 years in music.
Gosh.
And yeah, there's a lot that I've learned and love to impart to younger musicians.
We're going to get more deep.
Aha. Warning.
Let's play your song.
Okay.
About the little crush.
Yeah. Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Great.
Not yet.
No.
They're hiding from you. They don't know.
It'll come.
It'll come. at
We've
the
got
right
we've
time.
got spare. I
Yes.
mean, there's about 7 albums worth, so we're good.
So I mean, you somebody who's known for resilience and reinvention. Can you recall the first real downside, the first real failure that impacted you?
Yeah, well, my life started with a great success. So the failure, when it came, because it always does, hits really hard. So I started at 15 and I had my first single release when I was in matric at 17. And it went to #1. It was the song, Don't Worry About It. It just happened. I wasn't prepared emotionally, or nobody kind of prepared you for what was going to happen. And the isolation of fame, actually, because I didn't have any friends. They all just disappeared.
Why is that?
They just thought that they preempted a strike. They thought
Yeah.
I was going to think I was all that, but I was completely overwhelmed and introverted. And yeah, so after about 6 months, they realized, well, I haven't changed. I actually need them. I need them for support. But after It Don't Matter, then I released my first album, Mirrors and Windows, and that also was very successful. I was on covers of magazines. And then there was a very long lull. Luckily, I was at university, so I had other things to go. But my record label kind of ran out of steam, as they do. They kind of, okay, well, now this is feeling a bit hard, so we're not going to. And I left for London. My parents are British. And I started making dance music in London with nothing. I had no Louise Carver reputation. Luckily, the way I write, the melodies that I write, and my voice works very well with the dance scene. So I've always had a parallel career in Europe and in the States. Just writing melodies and music and putting them as a top line over sexy deep house grooves, and I still do that. And so I had no money for a very long time, for about... from about 21 to 25, I was in London living off one coffee a day, and my sister would make me a pasta in the evening kind of thing. And eventually I got with the right people in England, the right producers, and we made my second album, Silent Scream, which then had Empty Fantasy. Now, I was about to be signed by Universal International. We worked for 3 years on that deal, having lunches, doing showcasing in places in London. And all the execs would come and sit, and then they congratulated me. And at the 11th hour, they said, "Sorry, we can't sign you." And this was after being very poor in London for a very long time working. And the reason was that they knew I was a South African artist, and South Africa Universal needed to sign me. And this is just politics. South Africa Universal had to sign me first, and then Universal International would pick me up from that deal. And South Africa Universal turned me down.
Why?
And they weren't looking for my type of artist at that point. That was what I was told. And for 1 week after, I was in a spiral of depression, and my life was falling apart.
And how did that?
1 week later, Sony, because of a dance track that had gone #1 in Belgium and in Russia that I had done, picked it up, signed that to South Africa. It's a song called I'd Say Yes. That went #1 in South Africa. Within a week, they realized this girl isn't international. She's South African. They flew me up to Joburg, and I was signed to Sony in a week. But I had 1 week. And I know it sounds short, but that week I thought, well, this is it. This is it. I don't actually have a plan B.
And tell us more about that feeling. I mean, how does depression play out for you? How did you? What went through your mind? Did you think, I need to change careers? I need to.
I can't because it's who I am, and that's the thing about. It's not a career. It's a vocation. It's a calling. I've always been this. It's like not being a human. I am a musician, so I can't imagine. So I think I just sat in a pile of probably takeouts and some booze, to be honest with you. I don't drink anymore, but back then I knew how to put it away. And just in a state of shock. Probably a lot of tears. But there's also something in me, and I come from good stock. My mother's a fighter, and I just knew this wasn't the end, but it doesn't happen immediately, that feeling. You've got to feel it.
Yeah.
I think songs come from that feeling as a musician. But you can't also... My mum's post-Second World War baby, born in Bristol. They were on rations and all the rest. And she doesn't allow herself to feel things. She's like, right. This is very much that that group. I don't know what they're whatever they are, post-Second World War babies. But I think all our gogos and mums and stuff have that. Right, okay, pick yourself up, darling. No time to cry. And I'm not from that.
Piece of chocolate.
Yes.
Life is good.
Let's go. And I'm trying to teach my mum now, like, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry and feel it's important, actually. So, yeah. And then the deal came, then straight back on the horse again. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And then Silent Scream came out, which was my second album. And then Empty Fantasy was the first single. And that was the catalyst for me to end a very bad relationship. A very good guy, but he had bipolar and he was addicted to cocaine and much older than me. So it was not the right fit, but a lovely person. But it was the catalyst to end that and get on a plane and get to Joburg. Put my little smart car on this train and bought a tiny apartment, had a little Scottish Terrier. Everything was small, I remember. I had very small things for a period in my life. But it was exciting. Best of times and worst of times.
We'll talk more about the small things that led to big things and how important it is to hit rock bottom. But let's listen to this first.
Do you know what's hiding behind colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front of package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front of package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org by 30 September.
Spar brings you super savings. Get 2 kg Tastic long grain, parboiled, brown or soft absorbing rice assorted for $34.99. Save 10 Rand with Spar rewards, or 2 litre Spar sunflower or canola oil for $69.99 with Spar rewards. Plus, you could win your share of 6 million Rand in instant cash. Price is valid until 7 September 2025 while stocks last. T's and C's apply.
Mzansi, the Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots estimated at a total 85 million Rand are your chance at an unforgettable Friday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 37 million Rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 48 million Rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
When I say insurance, you say pineapple. Insurance.
Pineapple.
Insurance.
Pineapple.
Insurance.
Pineapple.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, brings the spirit of Ubuntu to the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit from the 29th to the 31st of August. Experience thrilling track drives, 4x4 adventures, drifting, supercar hot laps, and F1 demos. Get your tickets on Howler and use the promo code RADIO for a special discount. The Festival of Motoring, the power of new.
702 was live from the AXA International Indaba Conference Center as Airports Company South Africa announced their 2024-2025 annual financial results.
It's a very exciting day to announce the results for AXA with their sterling performance. What makes it so significant is that it creates a buffer, almost like a balance between aeronautical revenue, which is aviation revenue. It mitigates the risk. So you diversify revenue so that you don't have over-reliance on just one stream of income. That's a significant part of it. And it has been growing significantly, like almost balanced 50-50 with the aviation revenue in the past few years.
Airports Company South Africa is proud to be sustaining the pulse of SA's economy and global connectivity. Visit airports.co.za for more info. 702. Let's walk the talk.
702.
The upside of failure.
Proof that a setback can lead to a step forward.
And with me in the studio is Louise Carver, telling us about a difficult time in London when you just were jobless and out on a limb, and that horrible feeling of where's it going to end?
Yeah, but you've got this drive inside of you. You've got nothing to lose. I just cold knocked on people's doors. I mean, I'm lucky I'm actually alive because I was photographed in Cape Town by a photographer. This is what I love telling younger musicians is, and older and everybody, like a lot of little dots can come together. And I was photographed by a photographer in Cape Town called Kevin Gray. And he said, you need to speak to my mate in Camden in London, Kenny Hawkes, who's one of the biggest deep house DJs in London. And I said, okay, great, that's wonderful. You got can you give me his number? And I write it all down. And I said, just please tell him I'm coming because I don't like to, he won't know who I am. And he didn't tell him I was coming. And I called him and he's like, all right, love, you can come over. But and he had obviously had a late night DJing. And I got on a train and I got off and, we didn't have a lot of the stuff we have now to get us to where we need to be. And I found where he lived and he came down to meet me and he looked like, I don't know if you've seen the BFG.
No.
The big friendly giant. He was huge and bald. And I followed him up 3 flights of carpeted stairs, if you know London.
Yes.
Yeah. Into a tiny room where he was living with his DJs, with his vinyls and everything. And it didn't even cross my mind for a second that I was unsafe.
Yes.
That's kind of, no one would have known where I was. And I was in this flat in Camden with this very well-known DJ. Anyway, he had said to me, I have flown down this woman from the deep south who's going to do, because in the early 2000s, the dance music was very much, can you hear me in the back there? How you all doing? It was just kind of like, oonch, oonch. And so they'd flown down this particular American artist. And he said, look, I got the studio anyway. And he sent me a black cab. I was staying in my sister's tiny little place. And I went to the studio the next day. And I had written a song on the tube, a dance song that went actually #1 around the world called Play the Game. And I just written it on the tube, listening to this doof, 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 doof. You walked into a nightclub, I smiled and did my job. I was working as a maitre d' in Cape Town at the time. Anyway, get into the studio. The woman that he had flown down had forgotten her lyrics that she had written in the hotel room, so he had to send he was cross. And he had to send her back to the hotel at his expense to get her lyrics. He said, look, she's not here, you just get in the studio now. Opportunity in,
I'd say.
And no one knew me. I wasn't Louise Carver, daughter of Carol, went to this school in Cape Town. I was just a human, and I let it rip. I made noises on that. Because it's animal attraction, so I was like growling into the thing. I felt so free and sexy. Anyway, I did the track, got on a plane, went back to Cape Town, and about 3 months later, he said, look, this is getting major traction in the clubs that I'm playing. Virgin has signed us as their first deep house dance track to their very pop kind of label. And we I did a photo shoot that's quite risque. You can find it online. I was 22 and I was in charge of that photo shoot. The makeup artist was shocked and did not want to be on the credits. Yeah, I was in it was that time. I was 22, spending so much time in London. There were magazines called Wasted. And if you're not going to just break out of the mold and be risque, you're not going to get anything. And I wasn't. So at first I was a bit nervous about that photo shoot. But then I thought, I was in charge of that. It's empowering. Yes. Nothing to be ashamed of. Anyway.
I think you'd get a lot more hits today.
Actually, a very famous artist did a painting of that because he loved the vinyl cover so much. He did a painting. We did a story on it in GQ. It ended up in a boyfriend's apartment that I was dating. He bought the painting before we even got together. So weird. And he said, I've got this beautiful... And I said, that's me. And he didn't believe me. I said, here's the vinyl.
And isn't it
weird?
As you were saying earlier, all those dots.
All those dots. But if I hadn't just been photographed by a photographer that thought I was worth photographing and saying, look, you're going to London, and then that happened. And then taking that opportunity. It's not the genre I know, but it's the door that's open for me.
Yeah.
So none of the other doors are opening. Let's go through this one, see what happens.
Let's listen to that song.
Have we got it?
Yeah, we do.
Oh my gosh.
That was good. I like it.
Can we start this again? The part where you try to pull me in. My heart, where we're drinking the wine. You asked me my time. I lie. See, I've got a crush on you, baby. I just wanna talk to you. Can I talk to you? Been lighting fires for you, little flames burning into the night, all night. Wanna know what it's like, waking up in your room, talking all through the night. Call me late afternoon. Could you ever love me? Always man on the run. You could have anyone, choose me. See, I've got a crush on you, baby. I just wanna talk to you. Can I talk to you? Be
It's a tough one because you don't, when they walk into the room, you still get a little bit of a flutter. But yeah, nothing I would ever act on.
And that's your latest song. It's lovely. It's now time for the news headlines.
Thanks, Jane. Good afternoon. A meeting is underway between Gauteng Transport MEC Gidiboni Diale-Tlhabela and frustrated taxi officials in Ekurhuleni. This after the South African National Taxi Council halted its operations in that area. The drivers stopped operating after law enforcement impounded some of their vehicles for operating without proper licensing. Western Cape Premier Helen Wendy is urging taxi associations Kata and Kodeta to return to the negotiating table. The province has secured a court interdict in a bid to end the violence in Cape Town. The Mobility Department approached the High Court yesterday on an urgent basis to compel the organizations to stop the shootings, which claimed 5 lives this week. And there are calls for the South African Social Security Agency and Postbank to reconsider the decision to end their partnership. Their master service agreement between the two is set to expire at the end of next month. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 3 or as it happens.
Well, at this stage, if you're heading towards Bedford View, that's coming from the Edenvale area, slow-moving traffic, R21, that's the R24 rather, the R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Giluli's interchange. There's also slow-moving traffic. That's if you are leaving Brakpan heading towards Benoni on Rangeview Road between Dube and Tom Jones. Also slow-moving traffic, that's through the Midrand area on the N1 northbound between New Road and Samrand. Look out for those faulty traffic lights in Alex at Marlborough and Far East Bank, as well as in the Rand Park Ridge area at Bayers Nodia and the N1 North. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702 delivers
on the matters that matter to you.
I'm Deirdre from Oakden. I've probably been listening to 702 for about 40 years. I listen most of the day, and I really can't imagine my life or my day without 702. I'm kept up to date with all the news, and I must say that I personally believe I hear the news before anybody else. When I hear it on 702, nobody else has heard it yet. And I'd just like to say, keep up the good work.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
so we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 listens.
Let's walk the talk.
On the 20th and 21st of September, the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, brings you the flavour, the music and the vibe. With international stars, South Africa's top performers, delicious food from local artisans, and fashion that turns heads. It's the ultimate heritage weekend experience. Gather your friends on Saturday and make it a family picnic day on Sunday. Join interactive cooking demos, explore vibrant art, and celebrate 30 years of DSTV, bringing entertainment to Africa. One ticket gives you access to it all. Visit ticketmaster.co.za with more on deliciousfestival.com.
Let's talk tills. Most just take money. But what if your till could think for you? Introducing Yoko Counter, the smartest till you'll ever own. Cut guesswork and save time with integrated payments, real-time reports, seamless stock management, and easy staff tracking. It's all connected right there on one device. Upgrade to Yoko Counter at yoko.com.
You could do something first and still be doing it wrong. What hurts is sprinting but never making it to the finish line. Quit going in the wrong direction, because with Sunny Sixt, you can rent here and globally. Other car rental companies only have a vision to try harder. We actually deliver. While they leave you feeling blue, our budget and vibe match yours. For a tailored service offering premium at every stage, book premium car rental excellence with Sunny Sixt.
Hi everyone, I'm Dean McPherson, the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. Since I was appointed just over a year ago, we've laid a firm foundation in the department, and after tabling our 7.6 billion rand budget for growth, we're now turning plans into action. That means that we're moving government departments into our own state-owned buildings to save you billions of rands in rent. We're unlocking public land to build affordable housing, create shelters for victims of gender-based violence, and to boost food production. We're also tackling corruption head-on without fear or favor. And we're giving young South Africans real opportunities through a reformed EPWP program that focuses on skills and long-term jobs. And this is only the beginning. With your support, we're building a capable and professional department that delivers infrastructure, creates jobs, and puts public assets to work for the public good. The best is yet to come because we're building a better country for you, brick by brick.
Every Thursday on 702 Breakfast, Old Mutual Corporate tackles the tough questions around South Africa's retirement crisis and how to change the future we're heading toward within the world of work.
Retirement literacy is critical. We went around trying to explain via advertising campaigns, member communication around what's changing, and we realized how few people understood how it worked in the first place.
Yeah.
So there's a complete lack of understanding of the importance around retirement funding. I think the second learning is people are financially stressed, and it's across all income levels.
The Old Mutual Thought Leaders Forum, Thursdays between 6 and 9 a.m. Brought to you by Old Mutual Corporate on 702.
Coming up
on 702 Drive.
With Tabo standing in for John, seems like we're tagging each other.
All the time, Jane.
What
Lovely
do you
to
got
see
for
as
us?
usual.
Yes.
Yeah, the DA has written to the acting Minister of Police, Professor Kachalia, seeking an explanation of how South Africa's top law enforcement body, the Hawks, could be investigating a South African TikTok comedian because he made some spurious, funny
Lack
or
of
not
humor.
funny
Seriously.
spoofs on TikTok, and we're spending our resources on that.
No, it's
there are
ridiculous.
serious
I mean,
issues,
talk
and
about that's
I
freedom
mean,
of speech.
so it's so stupid. We'll be chatting about that on the show today, and we're hoping to speak to the police about wasting their time chasing comedians as opposed to chasing criminals. So. Ekurhuleni as well. There's a big problem of taxis.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. The taxi issues doesn't stop. Something has to give.
I
You know
know.
that in Cape Town they've just gotten an interdict against the taxi bosses for violence that's taken place there. Ekurhuleni, not too long ago, Mabotja Mall was on fire.
Right.
Taxi, minibus taxis versus the e-hailing services. Now Ekurhuleni taxis are being impounded, and commuters, the customers, are bearing the brunt of it all. We do need to do something about the taxi industry once and for all. So because it's ordinary people who can't afford e-hailing, who can't afford
That's right.
to buy their own vehicles to move around, and that is the majority of South Africa,
Correct.
of South Africans, and that's actually our backbone of our economy, because they catch these taxis to go and work as cleaners, as various professions, and so 60% of their money goes to the taxis, but we are having all of that and more. And because it's a Friday, I don't move furniture when John is away. I keep his features the way they are.
Yeah.
A song, a book, and a dish is there. We'll be speaking to Professor Seth Cooper. And Randall's one song is also there. And the question that we'd like to ask, as usual, and I want to ask this of you, Jane, which
dear.
professions wouldn't you date from? Teacher, lawyer, doctor. Some people are saying doctors are drunkards. And you shouldn't go with them. That's some people, not me. Doctors don't sue me. I'm just telling you what other people have been saying.
What's the question? Which profession? What?
You wouldn't date from.
Date.
Oh. Reserve your comment, Jane.
Wow.
We still have a job
Bring
to
out my
keep, eh?
list. Exactly. Exactly. Somebody could be waiting for me around the corner. I don't want to blow my chances. Thanks for that, Taba.
702.
The upside of failure.
Proof that a setback can lead to a step forward.
Philemon Mahuma says, thanks for talking to you, Louise. Thanks for a beautiful interview. Some keywords that stand out: calling, courage, drive, opportunity, vocation. Number 1 equals victory. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for those comments.
Thanks. It's summarized everything.
Yeah.
I can go home now.
Your job is not finished. We want to get down to the dark side.
Okay, here we go.
All right. I know one of your failures you've put down as your past relationships. What went wrong?
I think I was in the public eye from a very young age, and I confused self-esteem with the confidence of getting stuff done and being professional. So I didn't really work on my own insides. My self-esteem, I had no idea, was very, very low. I thought people liked me because I perform well and like a court jester, and I make songs that go on radio, and people like to have me around because I can clean up all right. So I didn't know that was my underlying belief. So I thought if I stop making music, like who's actually going to want to be around me? And so with that deep core belief, unaware, because I was so confident around people and on stage, but with that underlying massive low self-esteem, I allowed men into my life that really were quite verbally abusive and were not good people to me at all. The other thing...
Did you feel that that's what you deserved?
I was so... Yeah, I think so. I don't need to... Yeah, that's what I thought I deserved. And I was so frightened they'd leave me as well. And I come from a home with like very happy, married, 55 years parents. So something went wrong in as I was growing up, and I'm not quite sure what. But I needed to just do some work on myself. And to the conversation, you have to usually hit rock bottom. The other thing was that I work so hard, and we were just discussing now off air how hard we work in Joburg, and how it's almost like an invisible Joburg hand just pushing you forward to do more. I didn't have time for fun or spontaneity. So I looked to those men. I chose partners that were very fun and spontaneous, but actually, if you take if you put the hood up of the car, they're actually reckless people. So I relied on people
reckless emotionally,
reckless with money, reckless with alcohol, all these kind of things. And I'm quite a serious, diligent person, so it was a terrible combination. But after the 3 years with a very, very terrible relationship that broke me down.
How did it break you down? In what way?
Well, all the games, the manipulating, the verbal abuse, the shouting. It was on the cusp of turning violent. There was a few things there. Broke my toe. I've never actually spoken about this, but yeah,
why did you do that? What happened?
Because I was giving attention to my brother and his wife, who had come over to visit from Cape Town, and my focus was on them, and he did not like that. Eventually, through, I don't know, the universe came and helped me, I suppose, but I got my house keys back. And
what was the moment when you realized, I can't do this anymore? This is not good for me.
I was so wrapped up in investing in the wrong person and all the work I'd put into this dud. I just couldn't give up because I'm so tenacious with everything in my life. I'd fought so hard for my music career, and now I was going to fight for this man, and it's like, that's the wrong, you're not winning. So a lot of things happened.
Did you call on others to help you?
I did. I mean, I was getting physically ill from it, and he left me. So funny. It's very dramatic. He left me in the Linden cheese shop. He left the house keys. He wanted to go to the Portuguese festival with his ex-girlfriend, and he was upset that I wanted to join him. That's how bad it got.
Wow.
He was unhappy that I was going to ruin their fun, his ex-girlfriend and him.
But isn't it, I mean, you hear so many stories about abuse, and I know with abuse you become smaller and smaller and smaller.
Absolutely.
And then they do the most ridiculous things as if it's normal.
Yes.
And the fact that you're reacting is completely abnormal.
Well, I just said very politely, because we're in a restaurant and we were having breakfast, and I said, look, I would prefer if you came to lunch at 44 on Stanley with myself and my friends, if you better than maybe going with your ex-girlfriend to the Portuguese festival. Well, he lost it and I, obviously being well brought up and horrified by any kind of reaction like that in a public place. But I was used to it from him. He was quite frightening. He was also a very big man. He just screamed at me in front of everybody, and then left the house keys to my house on the table. And it was like sunlight came through the window and landed on those keys. And I thought, this is something in my soul. Although I was very broken and fragile and ended up on anti-anxiety medication, something deep in my fiber of my being went, this is your moment. You take those keys. And I took his house keys. And my mum flew up. I said, help, I need help. I'm stuck in this.
Did they know how bad it was?
Yeah,
Could
my
they
mum
see?
knew. He was trying to get my house. He was trying for me to sign off and have shares in the house, which I had bought. After 6 months, I wasn't getting better. My mum said, look, this is above my pay grade. And my friends were also like, I don't know.
Better as in emotionally.
I wasn't getting better. It wasn't like a normal breakup. And after a lot of time trying to figure out, this is what happens, unfortunately, when you're with an abusive partner. It's not a normal civilized, well, not that a breakup has to be civilized, but it's not a normal breaking up where you pain and you hurt.
Go through other factors.
It's you're the other side of the coin. So my mum got me in touch with this brilliant therapist that specialized in abusive relationships. And she spent a hardcore 6 months with me and broke me down. I mean, the tissues that I went through, tissue boxes, to build me up again. And I only needed 6 months with her. And then a couple months after that, I met my partner, who I'm still with 8 years later, in a very happy relationship. So if anyone wants to take anything out of this, it's you're not broken. You just need a little bit of tinkering inside. You just need a little small, frequency adjustment. It's sometimes not a big thing. It can be a small thing, so that you just got the right. You're reading with the right glasses, and you can see what's good for you and what's bad for you, and take that time if you can. I know therapy is expensive, but it was the best 6 months, worth of investment that I've ever made in myself.
Hold that thought.
Take a ride back to the greatest decades in music.
Because Saturdays on 702 are all about timeless tunes.
At 10 a.m.
Kenny Maestri sets the stage with the greatest hits of the 80s and 90s.
At 2 p.m.
Pushaza Sibia keeps the nostalgia flowing
with more classics you can't help but sing along to.
Then at 6 p.m., Richard Mwamba celebrates the sounds of the continent.
With This Is Africa.
It's more than just music.
It's your Saturday, wrapped up in the sounds you love.
Only on 702. Let's walk the talk.
It's the clarion call for the 26th Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. This year, plan your days wisely because we're putting out all the stops. Jazz at Lincoln Center, featuring the legendary Wynton Marsalis, returns in triumph to the Sandton Convention Center on the 26th and 28th of September 2025. But that's not all. Over 60 world-class acts light up 4 stages throughout the weekend. Actually, why choose? Treat yourself to the full experience. Grab all 3 days exclusively on Ticketmaster. Take me there.
Mzansi, the Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots estimated at a total 85 million rand are your chance at an unforgettable Friday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 37 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 48 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Handa, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Live extra at Checkers, SA's #1 value for money supermarket, and save on Knox Sparkling Hydration Drink 500 mils, any 2 for 28 rand. Domestos Power Foam 450 mils for 46.99, and Ina Parman's product range. Buy any 3 and save 20%. Valid until Sunday at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
This September, Joburg Theatre brings you a powerful mix of drama, music, and dance. Dancing the Death Drill, adapted from Fred Khumalo's acclaimed novel, tells the tale of Pito Mutaung, a South African soldier forever changed by the tragic sinking of the SS Mendi. The cast features Kwenzo Ngobo, Tuli Tabete, and Clint Brink, with choreography by Luyanda Sidia and original music by Msaki. This is a story of love, loss, and remembrance. Catch it from 9 to 28 September 2025 on the Mandela stage at Joburg Theatre. Dancing the Death Drill, a moment in history brought to life. Book now at joburgtheatre.com.
702 was live from the AXA International Indaba Conference Center as Airports Company South Africa announced their 2024-2025 annual financial results.
It's a very exciting day to announce the results for EXA with the sterling performance. What makes it so significant is that it creates a buffer, almost like a balance between aeronautical revenue, which is aviation revenue. It mitigates the risk. So you diversify revenue so that you don't have over-reliance on just one stream of income. That's a significant part of it. And it has been growing significantly, like almost balanced 50-50 with the aviation revenue in the past few years.
Airports Company South Africa is proud to be sustaining the pulse of SA's economy and global connectivity. Visit airports.co.za for more info. 702. Let's walk the talk.
702.
The upside of failure.
Proof that a setback can lead to a step forward.
Louise was just telling us about an awful period in her life with an abusive person. One of our listeners was saying we all need services of a competent and qualified therapist. And I think that's important, that you don't see yourself as a failure for asking for help.
No, it's the opposite, actually. And there was a quote I read once, which is, nobody escapes childhood unharmed. And it's not your parents' fault in most cases. It's just they're doing the best they could. But we're all kind of walking around with our childhood wounds. And I think it would be a very important part of your education in school, instead of learning about a single cell amoeba in biography or whatever. What is it? Biology? I haven't said that for ages.
Yes.
I have never thought about that until now. It's actually rather to invest money in therapy so that there's less abusive relationships in South Africa,
because
particularly.
it becomes a perpetuating
Because if you've
problem.
got low self-esteem, you'll accept terrible behavior just so that person doesn't leave you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beverly asks you, I'm wondering if your sound has ever been compared to that of Beverly Craven, another British singer-songwriter.
I'm going to have to check her out. So thanks for that. I'm not sure. I've had a few, Natalie Merchant. There's been a few that I've been compared to, but I'll look out. I'm actually going to put that in my phone now.
Okay.
I'll go, thanks for that.
We'll get back to you on that. You were not comfortable with not everyone liking you.
Yes.
What? Tell us about that.
I think, again, there's no blame on here, but society, your mother and your schooling prepares young women to fit in and I think they want you to have a good life, and that's how they thought it should be. So what happens to a lot of young women that are not taught to stand up for themselves and not think they're being rude or disrespectful is that you end up being a people pleaser. And I've experienced that in the early part of my life as a musician, as we've reflected on men that I've chosen as for a partner, and also with friendships with other females, which isn't really that discussed. But you just you'd rather not offend anybody. So you end up going in completely the wrong direction of your authentic self. And only when you get older, hopefully, if you're taking the time to get to know who you are, which I'm on that journey right now, because there's a few friendships I'm not happy with. There's a few, the way I am sometimes with my record label, I'm not happy with that. I need to be firmer and not be afraid to not be liked. I mean, it's just this heavy thing that's like a fear that lives in us.
Not everybody could like you, right? I mean, not everyone has to like you.
But can they respect you? Yes. And that is more important. We don't have time to be liked by everyone. And that makes for a very weak, diluted human being. So right now, my journey is, I've seen how I've behaved. I'm not there yet, I have to be honest. Particularly with female friendships. I struggle there to be truthful with them.
Why?
I'm scared of hurting their feelings. I'm scared of not having any friends. And yet I'm quite happy on my own. So I don't really know if you don't like me, it's okay. I'm quite happy with my man and my family and my dogs.
It is an issue.
But I am deep down on a very, I don't know, kind of primal level. I'm afraid to say how you behaved was not okay. I'm not happy with that. And I don't want to lose you as a friend, but I think you need to adjust your behavior when we're going out or whatever it is. And with a record label going, I don't think you're doing enough. You need to step up your game. I'm doing it all from my side. Things like that.
Don't you find often it's the apprehension which makes it harder than the actual conversation?
Oh,
'Cause when you have it, it's like, wow, did I wait this long? If you've got final parting words for the listeners about
So much.
I know, about how they can get through failures, what they should look forward to, and then also tell us about your upcoming tour.
Well, just don't feel alone. There's lots of great podcasts out there, including 702. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I'm learning continually. There's lots of books to help you and guide you through. You know, it's no failing to our mothers, but they couldn't teach us everything. And the lessons that entrepreneurial young women and men, but particularly for women, have to learn we didn't get from our schooling and we didn't get from our parents. So get out there, start reading and empower yourself. I'm on that same journey with you. And then if you want to come and see me on tour,
which could lift everyone's spirits too.
Yes, I'm all about that now.
Yeah.
I've been very heavy for a long period of my life. Now I'm really enjoying. Sims Kula from the Muffins is with me. He keeps it moving, as he always says. We'll be all around the country, and it would be lovely for you to come and see us. We are just going to be giving it our all.
Kicking up on the 6th.
Yes, at Cradle Moon.
Louise Carver, thank you so much.
Jane, thank you for having me.
Hollywood Bet Aziz Shege, Beyond the Game is back for the new soccer season. Up for grabs is a share of 4 million rand in prizes, including the Toyota Rumion, Corolla Cross, Hilux 2.4 GD6 DC, and a Starlet Cross. To qualify, bet 10 rand or more on any soccer fixture or fixtures for your chance to score big. Bet now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp HELP to 076 675 0710.
It all starts with advice from FNB Private. Because the perfect overseas trip starts with planning. Save and spend in multiple currencies with your FNB Global account and lock in exchange rates. Enjoy up to 40% off flights with eBucks Travel and order Forex on the FNB app delivered to you at no extra cost. Your adventure awaits. Unlock invaluable with FNB Private. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider. TC's own rules and limits apply.
Life is full of moments. Some are small.
Surprise, I got you a matcha latte.
Some are big.
Surprise, we're having twins!
For all those moments, there's the new Haval H6 SUV with a spacious interior and voice command. It's built for big moments. Get it from only 6,699 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM. Go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Two iconic South African acts, one unforgettable stage. Jeremy Loops and Ladysmith Black Mambazo present Echoes Between Us. Live at the Teatro at Monte Casino on 19 and 20 September. Experience this once-in-a-lifetime collaboration of rhythm, harmony, and heritage with these exclusive shows. Tickets on sale now from Web Tickets. Proudly supported by 702 and 947.
702 Podcast
on primemediaplus.com.
And thank you very much for being with us. It's been a stunning couple of hours, and I hope you have a very good weekend. And saying goodbye to Louise Carver, our last guest, and it is now 3 o'clock, or nearly 3 o'clock. Time for the news headlines. Lots of stories about taxis, the impounding of taxis, and many commuters across the country not being able to get anywhere.
This is EWN.
Taxi union calls for tighter security in Ekurhuleni, and Lusikisiki massacre accused linked to murder while behind bars. Good afternoon, I'm Zingisa Chirwa. The South African Transport and Allied Workers Union is calling on law enforcement agencies to monitor the taxi strike in Ekurhuleni closely to avoid it from spreading and becoming violent. The union warned that in the past, other public transport drivers have been affected by the violence happening during strikes. Santaco drivers in Ekurhuleni have downed tools after the Department of Transport started impounding its vehicles which are without operating licenses. Relebogile Mabotja has more.
The South African Transport and Allied Workers Union says its members in the bus sector are operating while the taxis have come to a standstill. However, it has raised concerns, saying in the past, when taxi drivers have gone on strike, bus drivers